So this is the village mum. As you can see, there's nice houses there. You know, it's the traditional, it's a proper old traditional Greek village. It's well nice. Look at all that, all the flowers and that. And this is a fruit and veg shop, groceries, however you say it. Alright. It's good. It's nice. So you got another fruit shop. They love the fruit here, don't they? Yeah, I might get some. See what they got. Yes. Now this is beautiful. So you got orange trees there, butterflies flying around, olive tree, so oranges, olives. Some other places have lemons. So you got a beautiful place. Lemon trees, olive trees and orange trees. Butterflies flying about. I think you know this place, don't you, mate? Remember you told me you lived there, didn't you? Love it. This is it. The castle and acropolis of Lindos behind me. There's the beautiful sea. Fucking brilliant. Just had a beautiful swim in the sea there. The incredible sea. Beautiful, clean. That's the acropolis and castle of Lindos. That's the village of Lindos there. And behind me you got a beautiful restaurant. The flag of the Byzantine Empire and the Greek flag. Fucking amazing. This is the most perfect place in Greece. Come to Lindos. Yeah, it's still beautiful, mate. I can imagine it was beautiful back then, but it's still incredible. Love it. Absolutely love it here, mate. I think you made a good decision running a bar here. And I think you might have made a bad decision by not living here anymore. You need to come back, mate. Come back. You got a forest there. Loads of birds flying about. Olive trees. Beautiful sea. It's incredibly blue. Perfect beach. Old traditional houses. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. This is Lindos in Greece. The best place in the world. So I'm having a beer on draft on the roof terrace of a restaurant, Timmy's restaurant, right in the centre of the traditional village of Lindos. This is it. So this is all very traditional. This is all old. This is probably about, some of these buildings are about, that church anyway is about 1,000 years old. That's a Byzantine church. But all the other buildings are about 500 years old, maybe 600 years old. But then at the top, the acropolis, so you can see the ancient Greek pillar there, that temple of Athena, that is about 2,400 years old. Whilst the outer walls are Byzantine and Venetian, and then the top bit is Ottoman. So yeah, this is it, Lindos. It's a nice cafe here. Beautiful here, mate, look at that. Fucking brilliant.
The Knights Hospitaller, the Knights of St. John, were a multinational fighting force, a great power in the Mediterranean during the medieval times. They were having many wars with the Ottoman Turks. So this fortification, this goes to show that the Knights Hospitaller were helping pilgrims in the Eastern Mediterranean get to the Holy Land, and they were resting on this Greek island of Rhodes. So this fortification was built to protect this beautiful village. So the Greek people, who were mainly Greek Orthodox, were for some time protected by the Knights of St. John.
So here behind me is a very large, thick, tall, wide, great fortification walls of the old city of Rhodes. So the Knights of St. John were a multinational fighting force of Italians, French, Spanish, Maltese. Sometimes there was a couple of local Greeks as well, but not so many. There were more people from other countries really. They were a Catholic fighting force. They were also called the Knights Hospitaller. So the Knights Hospitaller were called Hospitaller because they built hospitals. They helped Christian pilgrims get to the Holy Land and protected them to safely pray in what is now Israel and Palestine. So obviously the Greek island of Rhodes in the Eastern Mediterranean has been fought over for centuries. So this unfortunately was under siege. So Suleiman the Magnificent, the Turkish Ottoman Sultan, he came here with a massive army of Ottoman soldiers. So the Ottomans, they were mixed as well. So one of the saddest things about the siege of Rhodes town is that one of the leaders of the siege, one of the admirals, one of the captains or naval commanders or whatever he was a sailor anyway, he was a Greek. So there was an Ottoman Greek fighting for the Muslim army that had laid siege to Rhodes. So the Knights Hospitaller, Knights of St. John, obviously consisted of Italians, Spanish, French, and a lot of other different nationalities as well. They were unfortunately defeated, and the Christians suffered a defeat at the hands of the Muslims, and they were sent packing. So Suleiman the Magnificent and his Ottoman Muslim army, they sent the Christian knights away, and then they went from here in Rhodes to Malta. But in Malta they succeeded, so the Ottomans came after them all the way to Malta. So they besieged this place, took it, and then they came after them to Malta, and they failed to take Malta. But fortunately they won in Malta, but sadly they lost at Rhodes. So as we enter through the city gates of the old city of Rhodes that was built by the Knights of St. John, the Crusaders, you must remember that when the Ottoman Turks took this place, they slaughtered a lot of people. So in this area here, there would have been a lot of battles, there would have been a lot of fighting. So as the Ottoman Turks ran through across this bridge, over the moat and everything else, there would have been bows and arrows being shot, there would have been people fighting with swords, shields. The Ottoman Turks would have been running with ladders. The knights would have been defending with the bows and arrows, shooting the Ottoman Turks that are trying to run to the walls, trying to run across the bridge. There would have been arrows coming down from the top, people dying right here. Slaughter, violence, fighting, chop, swords, axes, shields, spears. But then sadly, when the Ottoman Turks finally controlled Rhodes town, these city walls of the old town, the local Greeks, who were the indigenous of the island, they weren't allowed through these gates. The Ottoman Turks, they said, there's no Greeks allowed in the old town. And that is unusual for an Ottoman town or Ottoman city. So the Ottoman Turks, when they controlled towns and cities, they usually liked the towns and cities of the Ottoman Empire to be